This is the alien movie we've been waiting for. No convoluted philosophy, no messy timelines, no over-explaining the horror, just pure, raw terror in space. And yeah, that alien hybrid, that thing is nightmare fuel. Let's break down Alien Romulus. So let's get this out of the way. I loved Alien Romulus. This is a return to form that respects Ridley Scott's original film while finally delivering on some of the more experimental ideas the series has explored over the years. Director Fede Alvarez delivers a film that balances horror, tense character work, and satisfying continuity without ever feeling like it's just a copy of what came before. Set between Alien and Aliens, Romulus is kind of an in-between story. But what makes it work is that it doesn't get lost trying to bridge canon. Instead, it focuses on a new group of characters trapped in a familiar nightmare, claustrophobic corridors, biomechanical horrors, corporate secrets, and one singular goal: survive.
It won't hold them off for long.
The basic premise is stripped down and tight. A crew of scavengers stumble onto a derelict research station, and as you'd expect, things go south fast. It's a setup that echoes Alien in its simplicity and Aliens in its pace. But it's not a retread. This thing has teeth, literally and figuratively. What really impressed me was the way the movie used its callbacks. There are plenty of nods for lifelong fans, from the aesthetic of the sets to the familiar sound design. The Weyland-Yutani influence is still lurking in the shadows, cold and calculating as ever, but none of it feels like nostalgia bait. It's all there to reinforce the atmosphere, not just say, hey, remember this? Even the pacing is a callback in the best way. It starts slow, letting the environment do the talking. The first act is all about tone setting: abandoned stations, flickering lights, quiet corridors. You're waiting for the first scream, and Alvarez knows that. He stretches the tension like a rubber band and then snaps it with brutality. Once the horror kicks in, it doesn't let up. The kills are gnarly. This movie doesn't shy away from the gore, but it never feels gratuitous. Every death serves a purpose, either to raise the stakes or to show us more about this evolved xenomorph. There are facehuggers, chest bursters, and something new, which brings me to the hybrid. Let's talk about that creature. If Alien 3 and Resurrection gave us the weird experimentations of hybridization, then Romulus is the full realization of that arc. This hybrid isn't just a Xeno with a twist. It's a culmination. The creature feels like it takes the raw aggression of Alien 3's runner and the creepy weirdness of the Resurrection newborn, then cranks it up with this sleek, biomechanical look that's just straight up terrifying. It doesn't just hunt, it stalks, it observes, and it manipulates the environment. There's one sequence where it plays with its prey, not unlike how a cat toys with a mouse. And I legit got chills. It's like this thing has inherited every evolutionary advantage from previous mutations and synthesized them into one apex predator. Also, huge shout out to the practical effects and creature work. They easily could have leaned hard into the CGI, but Alvarez smartly chooses physical suits and animatronics wherever possible. That weight and texture makes the creature feel real. You can feel it breathe on a character's neck, and that kind of intimacy with horror, that's where this franchise thrives. The human cast also deserves props. No big names, no distractions, just a solid ensemble with enough personality to make you care, without veering into Marvel-style quip fest or overly sentimental backstories. The standouts here are Callie Spaney as Rain and David Johnson as Andy. They give the kind of grounded, emotionally raw performance we expect from this franchise. She's no Ripley clone, but she carries that same mix of grit and vulnerability. Her arc is solely about survival, and that's what works. And he's not Ash or Bishop, but ultimately his connection with Rain is the heart of the movie. The rest of the crew has strong chemistry too. There's a balance of cynicism, fear, and hope that feels organic. And when they start getting picked off, it hurts. Not just because of the gore, but because the film takes just enough time to make you care.
Please don't let me die.
Cinematography-wise, this movie is gorgeous in that grimy, analog sci-fi way. Green monitors, cold steel hallways, creeping shadows. The camera work plays with isolation and perspective. Wide shots of small figures in massive environments, or extreme close-ups that put you inches from the monster. It's immersive, it's oppressive, and it's beautiful in its bleakness. The score deserves its own shout-out too. It doesn't try to recreate Jerry Goldsmith's iconic themes directly, but it echoes them. It hums with tension, spikes with terror, and pulls back when needed. You're never comfortable, and that's the point. But what really cements Romulus as a success for me is how it balances honoring the franchise's roots with carving out something new. It's not trying to be the next Alien. It's not trying to be Aliens, but it stands proudly alongside those films. And that's not easy to pull off, especially not when you consider where the franchise has been. Don't get me wrong, I love Prometheus and Covenant for their ambition and weirdness. I'll defend those movies for days. But Romulus feels like the perfect course correction. It trims the fat, narrows the focus, and puts the fear back front and center. But there's one creative decision that just didn't work for me. Rook. He's an android based off Ian Holmes' character Ash from the original Alien, which in theory is a brilliant idea. It could have added a haunting continuity to the lore, a peek into the Weyland-Yutani's early AI programs, but in execution, man, it is rough. The CGI used to recreate Holmes' likeness is distractingly bad, like jarringly out of place. This film does such a great job using practical effects and grounded visuals, but every time Rook showed up, it pulled me right out of the movie. The illusion shattered instantly. It's like watching a PlayStation cutscene in the middle of a gritty horror flick. And look, the concept was interesting. Bringing back an Ash-styled android could have deepened the themes of control and artificial morality. But Rook doesn't get enough development, and instead of being intriguing, he just ends up being a weird distraction. It's an uncanny valley situation, and it unfortunately sticks out in an otherwise immersive film. Cool idea, terrible execution.
You don't help her, you run. Get out. However you got in.
No, wait, whoa. Nah, we're not fucking leaving, okay? You understand?
Then have mercy and end her life now. If not, you all die.
Now let's talk about what was my highlight. There's a moment deep in the third act where the hybrid has cornered one of the surviving crew members. The lights are strobing, alarms are blaring, and the creature pauses. It tilts its head, it steps closer, and instead of lunging in for the kill, it mimics the wounded character's breathing, almost like it's studying them, learning, deciding. Then, just when you think you've gotten a second to breathe, it strikes. It's fast, it's brutal, and it's personal. This is the moment I realized Romulus wasn't just trying to be scary. It was trying to be unsettling. That's a big difference. Scary is a jump scare, unsettling sticks with you. It's a callback to the quiet terror of the original, but with modern escalation. That scene alone is worth the price of admission. Also, I have to mention one more. There's a set piece involving a decompression sequence that rivals the best in the series. It's intense, it's earned, and it ends in a way that had the theater dead silent. Just masterfully done. So yeah, Alien Romulus is the real deal. This is the most confident and focused entry since Aliens. It's stripped down, but not simplistic. It's horrifying, but not hollow. And it brings back that sense of awe and dread that made the original films classics. It honors the past without being trapped by it, and it expands the mythology without bloating it. Alvarez took a big swing, and he connected. Is it perfect? No. A couple of characters could have used a bit more depth, and the third act gets just a little chaotic. But those are small gripes in an otherwise excellent return to this universe. This is the kind of Alien film I want more of. Not necessarily sequels or spin-offs, just stories that understand what makes this franchise special. Isolation, tension, body horror, atmosphere, and a creature that will haunt you in your dreams. My final score is a 4.5 out of 5. This one's going to stick with me. If you saw Alien Romulus, let me know what you thought in the comments below. Did the hybrid freak you out as much as it did me? What was your favorite callback moment? And where does this rank for you in the franchise? Let's talk about it. Don't forget to like, share, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future reviews. We're finally done with the Alien franchise, but we have so much more on the way. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.